or project all of their internalized like classism or whatever, because if they're already poor or lower middle class, like you're taking all of that that you really feel about yourself and know that you're navigating yourself and then projecting it on to sex workers. The same thing with the ableism. It really is, people hate sex workers.
Yeah.
No matter where they are in terms of class, no matter where they are in terms of ableness, wherever, you know, like people just hate sex workers, and it just only becomes worse if they are disabled, if they are poor, if they are Black, if they are trans, whatever. Like it just gets worse. People just hate sex workers. It's fucking wild. That's really that's really the underlying point of that argument. There is y'all just say you hate sex workers.
Yeah, because it doesn't
but
make
you
any
also
sense.
want to be one, like, but
yeah.
Which brings us to these answers.
Oh yes.
So I asked Instagram, hello, civilian women. When you sing along to City Girls, Meg, Cardi B, broke boys don't deserve no pussy, how do you understand that? Because what the fuck? Because when I say that, I mean that because I'm not fucking broke boys because I'm intending on getting money from them.
Right.
And that doesn't even mean that I won't fuck a broke boy. If a broke boy is giving me bread, yeah, I'm gonna fuck him, you know? So it's really speaks to that. But y'all aren't asking for money, so what the fuck? Okay. So the very first answer I got was that I'm a loser for fucking broke boys. Like, I guess it just reminds her that even though she's singing along to it, feeling like a good guy, she's like, damn, I am a dumb bitch. The next person said, because that sex is rarely ever free and it reaffirms that I should be getting something in return. Yeah, okay. I don't know how civilian women negotiate that.
Yeah, like what are you getting in return?
Like what is your pussy word?
Dinner?
Like what?
Getting dinner in return for fucking?
So
That's
like
pretty
a good dinner. So that means that's how you
like
know he's not broke, because he took you to a good, a nice expensive dinner.
Okay. The next person said, honestly, yes, we are so conditioned to not demand anything and play damsel in distress. It's toxic. And when I hear lyrics like that, I honestly am jealous that I don't have the tools and boldness to get it like that. Thank you.
Okay.
I take it as I have expectations now because I didn't have them in the past, like letting my ex drive around in my car, for example, without asking for gas money.
So gas money. Okay. So gas
But
money.
I also wonder, like, why do civilian women feel like it's so hard to ask? Like, what's the worst someone can say is no. That's it. And you move the fuck on. Like, I'm really confused why people act like it's like the hardest thing. Like, you want to fuck me, I want this amount of money, or whatever the fuck. You're gonna pay it, yes or no? No, okay, bye. Yes, okay. When do you want to? Like, I'm really confused why that's so hard. It's not hard at all. Like, especially because like I don't think it's hard, especially because like when you are in a relationship, usually with a dude, like, is it hard to ask for money then? No.
So, but here's the thing: I have never, or let me not say never. I feel like in my non-sex work relationships, it is harder for me to ask for shit, and it is harder for me to negotiate, even just like fair treatment, because in my sex work scenarios, like that's the basis of the relationship. So it's easier for me to ask who I know I'm going to be asking for money anyway, because I'm like, this is what the fuck it is. But when I'm dating dudes, admittedly, for me at least, it is harder for me to be like, so can you, you know, like, because that's not typically the circumstance for that. Like,
I will say that for me it's not hard, mainly because I don't date men who don't start tricking off in like the beginning. Like, men that I date, like they're already buying me bags and shoes before I even give the pussy. So to me that's not hard, because I'm like, I already got the shit, so I already know that you're gonna trick off, so I'm gonna ask. So maybe that's why it's not hard for me, because I'm like, if I need some money, if I need my rent paid, I'm gonna ask that person, even though we're dating. But it's kind of like he already started tricking off though. Like,
yeah, that definitely makes a big difference, because I just even, and not even thinking about like money, like for me, even sometimes, like let's say dirty talk, like talking nasty or whatever the case is, like to talk to one of my OnlyFans boyfriends, which I'm slut me out, you know what I mean? I'm talking to you disgusting, like crazy. Yeah. But like talking to my partner like I'm, like coy and shy, and it's like, and it's not even on purpose. Now I really think about it, but
and
like
it's embarrassing.
Like, it's just weird.
It's like, I'm supposed to be this big fucking slut, and here I am with my partner, who's actually my main partner, and I can't even ask that man to eat my pussy.
Yeah. Like I don't know.
Scared.
I don't know what that is, but literally, like I could talk disgusting, filthy, nasty. Like I am the dominant person for the most part in my OnlyFans and all that those relationships, but like my personal relationships, that I am the opposite. Like I am the opposite.
I can 100% say that none of my boyfriends have ever gotten their dick sucked as good as Tricks, because when I'm sucking the Trick dick, I go the fuck off. When I'm sucking a boyfriend dick, I be in some like I'm coy and shy shit, like straight the fuck up. Sorry to my boyfriend, but they have never got the same quality of coochie as Tricks.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
And then also, like a different piece of that is being an OnlyFans sex worker, whatever you want to, gold digger, all of them things. I am all of them. Like navigating relationships with people outside of that is weird for me, because I don't even know anymore how to just have like a regular text conversation with a nigga, because like off rip, I'm like, why am I talking to you? You haven't paid me anything. So like, I can't even have a conversation with you. And then when I'm like, okay, no, this is not what I'm doing this for. I'm doing this for something else. But then it just doesn't work. And then I feel like they are, because they know who I am, they follow my Instagram or whatever case, they are expecting this person to show up and like I am an actor, baby. Like I play a role, baby. Like that is what I do. So don't expect that you can't expect that from me in my personal life. I'm not the same person. Like I'm just not.
And I feel like this pinpoints, even though we haven't like gotten to what the root of that is, but it at least pinpoints that we can all agree that in any kind of sex work or sex work adjacent scenarios, it's easier to ask for things. When we get into straight up non-sex work dynamics, it becomes difficult. And I feel like we have all just recognized that. V, you recognize basically none of your scenarios are even in the realm of totally free for real, because you're keeping it in the framework of you giving me something. When I've tried it, I'm fucking bad at it. Lex, you said it's hard. Like it is hard. It is hard. And so I don't know, and because I'm never gonna stop on civilian women. I'm always gonna on civilian women, and I feel like it is fair to say I get it, because I do get it. And also that doesn't mean that you can like on sex workers and like call us all types of names and like degrade us and shit. But I do get it. I do get it. It's hard. It is, because we're taught to not ask for shit. We're taught to just be happy with the bar in hell. We're supposed to just like carry on with whatever is given to us, the little crumbs, and be okay with it. And also, which is a form of whorephobia, we're really taught that asking for things is like unladylike or inappropriate or whatever. And like that is, in my opinion, a direct like offshoot of whorephobia, because whores are asking for directly. So it's like them, we shouldn't do that, because then it's like, but there's also this thing where I think of like some of our probably elders and wow, so much. I think also like how patriarchy and misogyny all functions is different now, because like actually aren't building us houses and shit. Like there is this whole different kind of world of what like showing up as a man in a relationship with, because like our elders, like grandmas and great grandmas, they did straight up ask men, can you provide a house for me?
What land do you have? Like they were getting land, houses, cattle.
So
cows.
Like so there's like so many different pieces to it, because nowadays it has, and I think maybe part of it is because is more expensive now and less like accessible. because yeah, we're anticipate like we're supposed to now like split rent with a man if we're living with them. And I know for a fact that like our grandmas and great grandmas will be like, bitch,
hell nah.
Splitting rent. Like if I were to tell my father that I ever paid for like a bill and I live with a man, he flipped it. Like my dad had 2 wives. They never paid a bill, never worked a job, like nothing. Like my dad will go to work from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day for the rest of his life. So his wife can stay home and she don't have to work. All she has to do is stay at home, take care of the kids, clean all that shit. Even though that's still work, of course, 100%. Right. But like, you know, people don't view that as work. But yeah, like my dad, like a woman living with a man and she has to go work or she has to go split rent, like that does not compute. Like that does like.
But then then these women, these civilian women think the same things ultimately though, right? Like I feel like they ultimately don't want to pay bills. Like you want things to be provided for you, but you don't want to have to ask for it because that makes you feel like you're a whore.
Yeah, and it's like a gold digger.
It's like it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, no, it's very, very confusing. It sounds very, very confusing and exhausting, honestly, which is why I'm happy that I'm a fucking slut, because I don't feel the same need to like uphold or abide by some of that shit, and so it's less exhausting for me. I know that if I'm going into something, and also like I have tried to get better in the past few years around, if I am engaging with a man for free, being more clear about my needs, and if they're not being met, then exiting that situation. So there's that to be said. But like, yeah, I'm happy that I'm a fucking slut, so that I don't have to, that I can just very easily be like, I don't even fall into that category, sis. So I'm not gonna feel embarrassed. I'm not gonna feel shame. Like what the and this is why I think that people can learn so much from like sex work dynamics and like behaviors, because the point is very clearly the basis of sex work is it's transactional. Like even if you're getting paid $20 for a hand job or a blow job, it's a labor done for the transaction of money. That is very clear. And I think, and that speaks to setting boundaries and knowing what your needs are and getting them met or not. And I feel like that basic like concept is missing from civilian dating, and they could very much so learn from that, but they hate whores so much that they just refuse to.
And that's that on that.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It really is.
Go ahead. I was gonna say good luck to them. That's all I was gonna say. Good luck to them.
Yeah, good luck to them, because
I feel like, I don't really go through that, like, because I feel like any man who tries to talk to me now, like in a dating type of romantic way, like they know they gotta like trick off. Like that's like offer it. Like I'm not gonna be around you. I'm not hanging out with you. We're not going on no date. Like I'm not, if I know I'm not gonna get anything, I'm not even gonna waste my time. So that's why, like, I don't know. That's also because I've also presented myself as that type of person. Like,
right.
So people know to expect that when they even engage you, that there's going to be some kind of transaction happening.
Yeah, I'm trying to I'm not like super actively trying, but I am in the process of wanting to get pregnant somewhere down the line, and I would like to like do it naturally. I don't really want to go through any procedures or anything like that. And the thought of having to engage, not even the thought, because I have been talking to more men than I have in forever.
Yeah.
And it is impossible. Like it just feels impossible. And I am leaning more towards the procedures now, because I cannot be bothered. And while that is transactional, right? Like it's also hard to find someone who is willing to do, like, to just have my baby. Like, I just really want you to have my baby, and I don't want you to have anything to do with that. And it sounds like that would be really easy to find a dude that's just like, yeah, but it is just not. It's just not. And so yeah, wish me luck on that. I'm just like, I don't really even know. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but
yeah,
that is happening. So y'all, I know y'all don't want no kids, but I just want y'all to be prepared because y'all are part of my community, whether y'all know it or not. So when I have kids, hello, you all are the women that I would like around my kids. Okay.
Well, see, but I feel like this speaks to, people talk a lot of shit about like communes and stuff like that, but this is why stronger community ties are so important, because first of all, technically you could just go fuck any man that has a penis and get pregnant. Like, it don't even have to be no set up shit. Also, I don't know how you really want to do it, but there's that. But like the part of like actually raising them, you got to have people around you, and you do have lots of people around you, so that would be good. But yeah, why don't you just go like fuck a random dude?
Like, get pregnant.
There's like, I have a slight like my personal moral feeling of not like tricking people into doing things that they don't want to do. It's like I would hate the thought
but you're not tricking them. How are you tricking them? You're not asking them to raise a baby.
Well, because if I get pregnant and then never tell them, and then they have this whole ass jit running around and it has nothing, and they had like, it's just just for me personally, I just feel like I didn't give that person a choice to say if they were okay with having a kid or not, and not I don't know. I just feel like I'm just taking a choice away from someone doing
do you want the man to be a part of the child?
And that's another thing too. I didn't at first, but then I started to realize that I would like a break. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I would like, and granted I have community and all of those things, but
don't
like,
gotta be him.
No, I know that, but I also, I don't know, the more the better. And I feel like it's a person that has like an actual tie to them, like if I can give them that option, but it doesn't have to, that it doesn't necessarily have to, but if I could, that would be ideal. But
do you want feedback around this, or what?
Yeah, give me, talk to me.
I mean, why? I'm totally respecting your decision around like not disclosing to the person like what the intention is. I get that. Also, just around like the break thing, you don't need that to help with breaks. You set up all of your support around you with whoever you want it to be. In my case, if I were to have kids, that would be all non-men. I'm not having no men around my children. So that would be a group of whoever, and then you split it up between them. That one extra man is not gonna make, it sounds like to me that you have in the deepest of your heart this that's like that traditional kind of, the dad is around kind of a thing, even though it will be non-traditional by proxy of how it's going to go. But like, that's what that sounds like, is that value is strong.
I think that with my friends, I don't want to, I feel like giving them my child, not giving them my child, but like asking them to take care of my child is like a responsibility, and it's not their child type thing. So like they could tell me no. I don't know how to explain it. Like I feel like they could tell me no, and I feel like if this is your actual child, like not that they couldn't tell me no, because when I could have they could be a ass person.
Correct.
But I would hope that it wouldn't be a ass person, and that because that's your child, it's not babysitting. You're spending time with your whatever the but it literally could go either way though. Like it literally can go either way. It's like the closer I want to have it by a certain time. So like the closer it gets, whatever options start to fall into place, it's just like option one, and then whatever happens after that happens. But Yeah, I mean, I think there is some of that traditional, because I'm very close to my father, and there's things of that nature. So yeah, like a thought of them having a dad and is cool, but it's also whatever. Like, I don't know. I just feel like my relationship with men at this point is just like, I'm good either way. Like, if you're here, that's cool. It's like the cherry. It's like, if you're here, I got a little extra scoop of ice cream. But if you're not, then I'm good with this cone right here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, me and this cone is good. Like,
I apologize to ice cream for the comparison to men. Ice cream don't deserve that.
As good as ice cream never did anything wrong to anybody. Okay.
what happens if you have if your child, well, you all don't want children as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, wait. So I would like to say that I have been thinking about if I would like to have kids and what that would look like. So I have been thinking about this.
And if your child was a penis owner,
yes.
then what? Because like, if your child's a penis owner and decides that they are cis, then what? Like, then what?
Then they finna get raised around a bunch of queer and trans, femme, and non-men, and they're about to be amazing people because of the absence of cishet men in their lives.
Yeah.
Straight the up.
Yeah.
I have literally zero desire, and we've been talking about this, I feel like, over our past few episodes, that my desire to have any kind of meaningful, even superficial relationships with cishet men is 0, nil, just nothing. I don't want it at all. And that goes into if I have children as well. And I have been talking to my homegirl Layla about like literally what it will look like to have some kind of an intentional community for non-men to exist and still have community support. Because the whole thing is, when you have a baby or kids, or just in general, we need support and community, and especially if you have a baby. So what I have been thinking about is figuring out where is a place physically where I can live that will be in proximity to a community of people who I can pass off my kids to, and they can pass off their kids to me, so that we can raise them together in a way where we're not burnt out. And that's totally doable, because that is what has been done for hundreds and hundreds of years, up until probably like in industrial times, where then it was like people were split up. So that's how I see it going. And yeah, I have just, literally, I do not see any benefit at all from having cishet men in my life. If like not a dad, not my dad, not grandfathers, not brothers, not cousins, not uncles. I cannot come up with something that's like, you know what? Yeah, that's it. Like, even if we were to go around here and talk about like really great experiences we've had with cishet men, family or otherwise, I don't think any of that would be like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I'll have some men in their life. Like, I'm literally,
and that doesn't even really exist. That would be like impossible to really even do. But and I think a big part of my feelings of wanting a dad figure is literally because that in my space of community, like my close proximity space of community, that is what I see. So I can't even, not that I can't, but it's hard for me to even vision how it would be possible to do that, because I just don't even, I mean, and I have people like you in my life, but then I have people like you in my life, but I also have the other side of my life. So then I feel like, I said this before, I'd be feeling like a mixed child, like I'm so in between, and I can't, like, I don't know how to fully navigate through both. I always feel like I'm not enough for either. So like, let's just say you have this community and I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm down for. But like, maybe I want my brother to come visit because me and my brother are good, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe I want, and I wouldn't want that to affect what you have for your community and what your idea is for your community. And so it's like,
yeah, men can come visit, and there's going to be parameters around that, and men can come do work in our homes and houses, and there'll be parameters around that. And we haven't like set out what the parameters would be yet. We just know that we don't desire to have family systems set up in a way that is man, woman, dad, mom, and that is the center of it, or that men are a necessity in the raising of people.
Right.
It's just not. So yeah, it's not like if I were to be on a commune in a couple of years, I'd be like, nah, y'all can't come visit because y'all bringing y'all with you. No, it's like, hey, what's up? What's good? I ought to have a relationship with any men in y'all's lives, because otherwise, how can I know that y'all are okay? You know, and how can I even be involved? And this is, I feel like we talked about this around like community accountability, is like, we have to know the people, all of the people, even people we don't with, because otherwise that's how harm exists. So like if you have a boyfriend and I don't know him and there's some going on, how the am I even, as a community person, as someone in communities with you, how the am I supposed to get involved in that? And I don't know him. And if that's because of me being like, oh, these men, no, I have to actually know this, but I know I'm not gonna intentionally put no men in my life. But the one thing I was gonna say to you, Lex, is it's hard to imagine because of what everything already looks like. And so it does take active reading, creating anew, talking to people who are radical and have been more radical to start like shifting that. Because if you continue talking to the people who are already doing the same shit, and no shade to them, it's gonna be the same shit. You know what I mean? So you like, it literally is actively like figuring out new ways to do things, and it's totally possible. It's just it's not recreating what has been done already.
Yeah, my problem is that I feel like I just want a perfect world, and I just don't want to have to give up one or the other. Like, I feel like I just want everyone to be because like me. That's my problem. I want everyone to be like me, that I am very okay with anything, everything, like whatever, like, you know, my relationship with you is my relationship with you. And, you know, like, not to say, of course, I'm not going to deal with nobody I think is a person that doesn't agree with the things I agree. Not, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, I want the people that I care about, because I care about them in a very specific way, to care about the other side of the other things that I care about in the same way. And it's like impossible. And I know that that's impossible. And I'm stressing myself out by doing that, but it just really fucking sucks. It just sucks.
Yeah. It does suck. It does suck that things can't be easier, and they won't get easier. And that's what it is. And you know, you can have a father figure in your kid's life without it being a cishet man.
That's facts. That's very facts. Very, very facts. I was talking about that with my partner, actually. She was like, if you have the baby, like, she was like, I don't mind. Like, we were talking about birth certificates, and she's like, does it say parents or does it say like mother, father, or like what? She's like, because like, I don't want to have anybody else's name on birth certificate except for like my name. I'm like, yeah, I don't want anybody else's name on there either except for your name. She's like, well, if I have to go under father, then I'll go under father. Like, I don't care. But I don't know, it's just random. But yeah.
Yeah, I've never even looked at a birth certificate to know if it is gendered in that way. And my assumption is that it probably is, just because.
Yeah, no, mine definitely says mother, father.
Yeah. And that's shitty, but also, so that. Then put her name next to father. Like,
yeah.
Especially if y'all are gonna be co-parenting.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, babies.
Yeah. Y'all are actually like help influence the idea of me having a child, is surprisingly, I know, right? But I feel like we
to say how, because I've been saying abortions and all this other shit, so I don't know.
Because we talked about I talked about my fear of having kids, and you all were like, well, you have like a lot of people around, and you do have community, and you have, you know, ABC. And I'm like, wow. And then I really went and sat about it. I'm like, wow, I really do have a pretty great foundation for raising kids, even though there are things that definitely need to be worked on, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like I really do. And that is why, like, me having my child and me feeling like that mixed in between, I love that too, because I feel like that's great for my child. Like my child will be able to see all of that, like, and you know, be able to recognize like, oh, that's a little different on this side, or maybe things aren't right on this side, or maybe they, you know what I mean? And I think that's like awesome. And I really just sat down and like thought about that. I'm like, maybe I should pop out a jib.
Good luck. Let me know how that goes.
I'll keep y'all posted.
Oh,
I need all my scammer niggas, bring that cash.